Hey, everybody, and welcome back to the 52-week movie challenge. I'm your host, Jonathan Moody. This episode, I'm doing a solo episode, so it's going to be shorter than it's been the last couple times, but it's pretty much just going to be me talking about my feelings on this newest project. And as you can see, it's the Blair Witch. So let's get into it. This is week 3. Um, week 3, you can read that, is the low budget big box office. And so I'm gonna read to you guys my my thoughts on all of it. So to begin with, it's the Blair Witch. It was released in 1999. My date of challenge completed was 1/17/22. The aspect ratio is 1:33:1. Running time's an hour and 21 minutes. It's a horror, rated R, starring Heather Donahue, Josh Leonard, and Mike Williams. Directed by Daniel Myrick and Eduardo Sanchez, who I believe also produced and kind of came up with the idea / wrote it with the cast. I gave it 3 stars and out of 5, and I'll get into my actual review in a few seconds. It won a bunch of awards, but I know like it won like Golden Slate, best horror film, and the Chainsaw, best actress with Heather Donahue. The music was done by Antonio Core. Why did I choose this particular film? Because I remember not liking it, so I wanted to discuss that. Have you ever seen this movie before? Yes, back in 2000 or so when it was out on VHS. Would you recommend this film? Why or why not? Yes, it is a groundbreaking movie for the horror industry. So that is what I said on that. And then, which characters do you most able to identify with or connect with in what way? I wrote Mike. He was the most fun in the group and didn't take himself so seriously. Best line or memorable quote was, what's that? Is that the Blair Witch? No, it's just Heather taking a piss. Were you surprised by the ending? What would you have done differently? I said no because I saw it before, and I probably have more horror at the end, like more characters that kind of popped up or something, and you got to whatever. But we'll get into my actual review in a few seconds. Do you feel a larger budget would make this better or worse? I think worse. How would you spend the extra funds? I wouldn't. I'd leave it alone. Anything else you'd like to say? I still didn't love it. I know I'm like sort of going to be like the minority of people. Most people love and praise the Blair Witch for a lot of what it's accomplished in the horror genre. And for that, I think this movie is perfect. But do I just can't love the movie. First of all, it created a whole subgenre, which I totally respect and love that it did that. But I hate the subgenre. Like, I do not like found footage horror. I find it to be boring. I don't like people running in the woods with the video camera. It just feels like most of the time it feels like a cheap ploy. Like most of the time I was ripping off Blair Witch, which is the big thing. Like Blair Witch started that whole thing. But aside from that, I find it to be sort of like, I don't know, I just am not a big found footage fan. Like I don't like watching found footage films. I get bored. I don't like mockumentaries. uh unless it's a real documentary where they took time to like really like make something, I'll watch those. But like mockumentaries or found footage films just bore me. Like they're just not. I don't like mocku series either. Like I hate Modern Family, which a lot of people love. I've tried to watch it multiple times. I just couldn't get into it. I like The Office. So I like it. I don't love it. It's not like my favorite thing. So it's just those things where I feel like everybody has different things that they're into or not into. And just found footage never did anything for me. But they did pave the way for other films like Paranormal Activity, which I don't think would have existed had Blair Witch not, come along. It paved the way for a lot of other films like Willow Creek, I think that's what it's called, that Bobcat Goldthwait did, that is just, Blair Witch with the Sasquatch. I mean, that's the thing. Like everything else after this was just like a rip off of this movie in some way or another. Just they just tried something different, and that's fine. I love slasher films, and a lot of people are like, well, you look at Black Halloween or Black Christmas or whatever, and everything else is just a rip off of those. True, but for some reason, I enjoy that more. And then there's other stuff where if you watch some of the movies that are supposed to be found footage films, sorry, supposed to be found footage films, you start to realize that the found footage films sometimes they take it out. Like I watched a movie called Terror at Bigfoot Pond, which a lot of it was shot as if it were a found footage film, and it wasn't a found footage film because at times like there was somebody literally videotaping some people or whatever, and it wasn't them videotaping themselves. Like so it took itself out of that. But uh movies like this where it's obviously three people holding cameras, so let me go into the story of the film itself if you haven't seen it. But if you haven't seen it, I don't know, I'm going to be spoiling the shit out of it, so get ready. um the beginning of the film, like three filmmakers are going off to find the Blair Witch. They believe she's in this particular part of the woods. They first go into the town and start talking to some people, interviewing the people, and I like that part. Like that stuff was sort of fun. Then when I got into the woods, it just got monotonous and boring to me. When they get into the woods, they're trying to find it. They At one point, the dude kicks the map into, or had kicked the map into the creek or whatever, the river, and he was laughing about it later and really pissed her off, the main girl, because she thought she lost it or somebody took it or something, which there was ideas in my head that I forgot. Like I hadn't seen this movie in forever. I forgot about that scene. And so I thought maybe somebody just, one of the people had just took it, that were outside their thing. And it would make sense. Like somebody went into their backpack and took their um took the map. So when he found out that he kicked it in the woods and they're all lost, then Joshua's character, which he plays, all of them play themselves, gets, I guess he gets kidnapped or something because you never see it, but he disappears. Then you hear his voice and you hear other people's voices. And it really does have this creepy vibe to it. Like I love that part. Like I love that it had the voices. Some of it sounded like children or babies or whatever, and you couldn't tell what the hell was going on. Then they leave like three piles of rocks around the thing. Like all of this stuff. Like you would think that the way I'm talking about it right now, that I would love the movie or something. And I just, for some reason, and I think it's mostly that the most of the film is them walking through the woods talking to each other, and I just get kind of bored. Like there was literally a time I kind of like my eyes started drifting because because a lot of it's the same stuff. Okay, it's the next day, we're lost. Okay, we're gonna try to figure our way out. Okay, we're lost again. Like it gets monotonous and boring. And I get what they're doing, and I get that like they have to have this padding. I just wish that maybe there was some more time developing the characters before they got into the woods. Like maybe half the movie could have been them getting more information about the stuff, and then the rest of the half of the movie could be them going to the woods, getting lost, and then the end is them discovering the house and everything. But at the end it's just sort of like it just sort of happens. They both characters kind of you know, uh, drop the cameras. And so I was talking to somebody, a friend of mine, about the Blair Witch and how much I'm just not a big fan of it. But his thing was, honestly, his thing was that back then, this movie had a mythos to it. Like people thought it was real, all that wonderful stuff. I didn't hear about this movie until after it was already on video. People already talked about it. It was already not real. I did not know about it when they were first like saying, "Oh man, this is a real story." So I just thought it was a movie, and it is a movie. These actors didn't get lost, they didn't get killed. I mean, all of it's all a movie, and that's fine. Like, but I get the whole mythos stuff. Like, I get that they made documentaries and they made it all seem like it was real, and that's fucking awesome. Like, good for them. Like that's pretty freaking cool. Like, to make a whole movie that felt like it was a real movie, or like there was a real situation that happened. Awesome. Problem with that being said is like all of it's edited. So like what people found these clips of these people back in 95 or whatever, and then just edited it together. Like it doesn't make any sense. Like, why would somebody do that? No. They might look over it and to see like that's a crime scene kind of thing. Like the way that it ends, like it's a crime scene. They if they found this footage, it is now proof that those people were most likely either killed or abducted. Like something happened to them. You don't know what. You're pretty sure they're dead. I'm pretty sure Joshua's character is supposed to be dead because his shirt was all bloody or whatever at one point. I don't even know if her character told Mike, because we never get that. So I guess she didn't tell him that Mike had a bloody shirt, and the whole time, or not Mike had Josh had a bloody shirt, and so the whole time Mike's running around trying to find him, and I'm like thinking, dude, that dude's probably dead right now. Maybe, the character, obviously. So I give it 3 stars because I can't give it lower. Like it really did a fucking phenomenal job for what it was. For what it was. With that being said, I am not a huge fan of found footage. And I've said this like a million times already. So I can't give myself to like this movie as much. But I respect it, and I love the directors who made it. I love the actors. Actors were phenomenal, because I really believe them. They didn't stumble or do a bad job or you know anything. So I really really enjoyed that part. Um, would I watch this again? Not. I don't really want to. Um, and I only watched it on this because it was a low budget movie that did very well in the box office. It did so well that it once again launched a whole subgenre. So it's like I get it. I mean, for something that I don't even know what the budget was. It was probably very cheap. Um, but it was definitely, I mean, it definitely made its money plus a lot. And that's amazing to me. Like a movie that can just skyrocket the the gross basically by whatever. Amazing. That being said, I'm just not for me, man. I can't watch this again. I'd only do it if I had to. Like if there was something I was like exploring all the Blair Witch ones. I get once again, I get why people love it and a lot of filmmakers love it because it changed their their way of making films too. A lot of people make found footage films. Some people that's all they fucking do. And I'm just not into it. It's not it's not my genre, subgenre. It's not what I'm into. So with that being said, I like once again respect it and I love what they did with it. And I would have given it a higher rating had I had it like changed my mind the second time. But and I didn't go in and I tried to go in with a very open mind, thinking, oh man, I hope this movie just wins me over. Um thinking that it had a very good chance of doing that because so many people still love this movie and still talk about it. I can't get behind it, you know. I don't find it mediocre or anything. I don't find it boring. I mean, there are slow points to it when they're kind of in the middle of the woods and everything, and it's like the same, like I said, the same scene over and over again. It's kind of feels Groundhog Day-ish, like next day. Oh my God, we're still stuck in the woods, like what are we gonna do? Gonna go over this creek and you know, um, it's just sort of but what I will say is the time did sort of like for an hour and 21 minutes, the movie did sort of go by pretty quickly. So, all in all, um, if you haven't seen the movie, which I'm surprised because so many people have seen it, but if you haven't seen it, I'd say go watch it. Check it out for yourself. It's on Roku TV or whatever Roku, the Roku channel, for free, with commercials. I think I own it on DVD, but I mean, once again, like I'll just own it for collecting purposes, but I'm just not really that into it. I even bought the reboot requel thing that happened with that uh the guys who did like You're Next and stuff did, and I thought it was, I mean, I never even watched it. Like I didn't watch it because I didn't even see Book of Shadows, because I'm just not into the first one. So I figured why would I mean, it's gonna be different. It's gonna be a bigger budget. It's gonna be it might be a better movie for me to watch. But just I'm not really that into it. So but once again, I really like the two directors, Daniel and Eduardo. They did a phenomenal job making something very unique and different at that time that now they couldn't make because, like right now, it's already kind of been made. Um, the one thing I'll do say is I'm pretty sure that they don't. She says she's scared, but in the trailers, I think I always remembered, and I don't know if this is just something I remember hearing and it's just wrong or something, but I always remember her going, like, I'm so scared. And then I watched it and she really doesn't do that. Like she says, I'm scared. She says, I'm so sorry a lot. And I was kind of bummed because I was like, that's the thing people make fun of. It's like when people say, Luke, I am your father. And like Luke actually never said, Luke, I am your father. He said something similar. Um, like he said, I am your father, but he didn't put the Luke in there, something like that. But it's like people remember something completely different. And I think the trailers all had her say, I'm so scared. And the movie itself, like with, if you look at that, if you can unfortunately can't see underneath, but she's got the little like where it's her eyes talking in her, you can see top of her nose, but you can't see the you can't see her whole face because she's talking to the camera herself, which was like was one of the first like selfies, you know, video selfies. All in all, I once again, I can't hate the movie. Like I don't hate it at all. Like I respect it and I admire what they did. I just can't love it. And I definitely like it. It had moments that were really great and really cool and creepy. The little things that if you look right there, that thing, those little signs and everything, I thought that was pretty cool. Um, I wish I saw in this movie. Now I understand like maybe in the second one there's more to the cult or whatever, and the witch and all that other stuff. And the next movies, whatever. But in the first movie, I just wish I saw more of that. Like not just heard, I can really barely see anything. The cinematography was, using a couple of really bad cameras, so you don't really see. And I get it. Like this is supposed to be like a group of students making a film, and it's just, I don't know, just doesn't do anything for me as far as things go. But you know what? A lot of people love it, and I respect that, and I won't tell them that they're wrong. I mean, if you love this movie, fucking good. Like I'm glad. If you love found footage films, that's awesome. Somebody's got it because there are a million of them out there now. Um, I remember like because I used to work at a video store around the time that this came out on video, and everybody was going crazy about Blair Witch, and then there was like something called like the St. Francis experiments or something, and then all these other like Blair Witch knockoffs. Then there was like the Bogus Witch Project or something, which is like a parody. There's a lot of parodies, which also got kind of annoying that everybody's like making fun of the I am so scared and stuff like maybe having somebody pick their nose while they're saying it or something. It was so annoying. But that became a thing. That was a craze, and it was all due to this film. And like that's amazing. Like I love that, but I just can't love the movie. It just doesn't do it for me. So if you're a fan, awesome. If you're a fan of all the other ones, Paranormal Activity, which I think they destroyed Blair Witch's like stuff and launched Blumhouse. So awesome, but honestly, I fell asleep through that movie too. I don't like I don't like movies, found footage films. So I can't, I can't watch them. I didn't like VHS, which had some found footage moments and stuff to it too. I just not my thing. But I get it, and I get why people do like it. And um, if you do like it, then more power to you. If you don't, just like me, like that stuff, then awesome. Also, more power to you. So thank you guys for listening to me kind of ramble. I like I said, uh I give it 3 stars, and I think that's just because I couldn't give it less than that. I think it didn't deserve more, but it definitely did not deserve less. So 3, I think, was the perfect number of stars for this. But after having Deer Hunter and what was the other one? And the Deer Hunter and God damn it, my brain is going blank right now. Oh my God, you guys are having to deal with me like this. Oh, and All the President's Men, Jesus, having those two, which were 5-star movies, that I had never seen, and this being a movie I had seen, but I was going to give it another chance and hope that it was a 5-star movie or higher or lower, a little lower, but it was 3 stars. So, it is what it is. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this little video, and keep coming back next week. Let's see what the next week's task is. Ooh, it's a film starring animals. So I guess that could be animated, that could be I guess live action. All right. We'll see what I pick. I haven't even picked something out yet for that. I think I have an idea what I want to do, but we'll see. All right. Well, hope you guys enjoy this. Check me out next week for a whole brand new 52-week movie challenge. Bye, everybody.